That's for life. What's up, man? Right? Nah, this is Banks. Ant-Man, how we doing, man? Mute some. Yeah. Where's my controller? All right, what are we starting out with tonight? Picking up heavy blitzes, from any sort of particular formation or just in general. I have two controllers tonight, so I'm actually able to show you guys whatever you would like to see. Yeah, this is next gen. I'm doing well. I have no idea how to set up my defense up. Hopefully you get pointers in a video. Absolutely, I can help you out. So basically for heavy blitzes, like, let's see, just go with start Packers. 4-6 Colts. Not Colts speed. That controller. This one we can do. I think it's Chicago as the 6-1. I want to say. I'm not exactly entirely sure. Oh, 355. Oh, it's even easier. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of stuff in the meta buster that cover how to stop all that kind of stuff, especially like all the blitzes and things of that nature. But I can break down kind of what I do. So for 55 wide, right? Set this up. Zedarius, Gary. Where is Redmond? I don't know where guys are. Here for now. Let's put Savage there. Amos. Whatever. I guess it doesn't really matter, but audibles. Mike puts 3. Alright. There we go. So what formation are you looking to kind of stop heavy blitzes from? Like gun bunch, trips. What exactly are you for? Can I turn off the change camera angle? I don't believe so, no. Are bombs similar to current gen as they are in next gen? In principle, sure. In actuality, not really, honestly. I think they're kind of different personally. But concept works. Do roll flat. So when people auto with 55 wide, right? Anything like this, all I do is just block my running back if I know it's gonna be blitz, and I'm just gonna ID the outside corner. Or if they like spread their line like this, ID the outside corner. They don't come in. Because usually, like what the opponent will do is they'll hover in the side of the gap opposite away from the running back. Like, if I were to snap the ball right here, see, picked up. Obviously, that's not the right read there, but we go instant replay so I can kind of show you this. By doing that, allows that left tackle to block the dude head on and allow the outside guy to come in completely free. Now he blocks him, and then the running back responsibility now becomes that outside linebacker. Now everyone's head up one-on-one, and then boom, he's going to chop block him. So majority of the time, he's not going to block him straight up like the offensive linemen are to the D lineman. He's going to actually chop block him, which is great because now he's completely out of the play, right? A lot of times you don't have to worry about him getting shed or something like that. And the same thing goes for 2-4-5 odd. So say, obviously I don't have 2-4-5 odd, but like if I were to go to, yeah, I don't. So 2-4-5 odd, it's kind of something like this. I can replicate it a little bit. Kind of looks like that, right? You don't want to definitely block your running back and do the same exact thing. You can slide that way too, and then ID this outside corner. And I don't know exactly if this will get blocked, but it should. Yeah, I mean, there's like 9 people blitzing, so obviously in 2-5 it's not gonna be that many people blitzing, but that is how you want to do it. You know, you can slide that way and then ID the outside corner, or just ID the outside corner in general. That's how I stop pretty much all blitzes from the edge. If you ID the outside corner, it does a great job. Same defense. I mean, honestly, in regards to same defense, like, you know, we have a game plan breaking down every defense, especially that I run. You know, my Lions defense is what I still run today. Obviously, I'm just running kind of strictly 3-5 wide, so it's a little different, but in hindsight, it's pretty much the same exact thing. Um, yeah, we break down how to run every defense, you know, match, you know, 5 cams, 2-4-5 game plan. Tells you exactly how to run match. Journey's got 2-4-5 odd, I have 3-5 wide and double A gap, and Cap has 5 Sam. And there's a lot of defenses on the site, and we tell you exactly what to do. Um, we also break down like, you know, what to do against like a crosser from match, you know, what to do against a 2x2, 3x1, those kind of sets. We kind of break down all those. I'd highly recommend checking those out. But if you have any kind of like specific questions, I can definitely help you out in that regard. Just in general, like how to set up defense, I don't really know exactly how to answer that besides guiding you to the game plans, actually watching how they're run. Do that at the end of the day, I just give you the yeah. What's the difference between all Madden and all pro? Uh, honestly, like I view it as a completely different game. I'll be honest. The zones react a lot quicker. There's a lot less drop picks. The player movement is the same. Kick meters faster. The thresholds for all Madden is 85. All Pro is 90. So more players are a little more usable. But stats matter more. Like there's different thresholds. 85 and 90 plays different than just straight up 90. Um, yeah, it's just kind of the easiest way to describe it. But like defense is actually like you can play defense on all Madden. Like you saw Noah hold Henry to 3 points, one of the best offensive players in the world. Like holding someone to three, I can't even hold someone to 3 points in weekend league. If you're just calling ass Madden, it's still hard for me to do. So on all Madden, it's just a lot easier to play defense. Like people will actually react to the ball and things like that. Why that's not a thing, but in all pro, I don't know. Question from Nola in Discord: how do you play run D out of 3-5 in situations where it might be a pass? Great question. So Clef released a pretty good video on the YouTube channel. You know, his method is spread the linebackers and like pinch them like this, and you kind of hover here. You don't blitz the user. This is one of the biggest tips I can give you guys for trying to stop the run, because obviously it's really hard to shoot gaps because we're blitzing our user. Now, if you actually just put your guy into a zone, honestly, I'm kind of surprised I never thought about this. I was just kind of just always like, I have to blitz my user, which, you know, you are supposed to do in certain situations for sending 3 or 4. But just for a general run, if you're sending 5, put your guy into a zone, and when they hike the ball, you're actually going to have holes that you're going to be able to fly through. With how bad the user is this year, that's really important to have a wide open gap that you can shoot through, right? That's able to do that personally, because I don't really find the gap shoots that consistent depending on the formation. Um, like Clef showed a great way to shoot deuce close. But, that formation doesn't always work for a variety of other formations. So like my simplest thing I can do is come out and like for this kind of a general question. Drag this guy down, and just pinch your entire defense, which is the right bumper and then down on the left stick. And as you see right here, there's really nowhere to go. So like they were to call a run right here, like outside zone. See, there's actually a gap for me to shoot through right there. Just because I didn't blitz my user, all the linemen are actually engaged and blocking the people in front and not worry about me on a blitz angle. See, right there. See, if I blitz myself, more than likely 76 is going to do that, and 62 is going to try to block me, but he doesn't, which actually allows me to fly through that hole right there and make a tackle. Obviously, I just missed it. But yeah, that's a pretty good way to kind of just generally stop the run. To cover 3 out of Mike Blitz 3 for 3-5 wide. And I think that's the best universal coverage defense in the game. I can't call. Here we go. General pinch defense and just like crash down. Obviously having a cover 3 shell makes it a lot easier to stop the pass plays. You can turn off zone drops to run like a cover 3 match type look too. If you don't want to, if you want to send 5, that's what I'd recommend. Question from Keyshawn. How do you stop the deep crosser out of trips? The trips is on the short side. How to like the crosser over the 30s. So that is where it gets kind of weird. You know, there's not a zone that's gonna play that. So you can run match, stop that. I'm not gonna show you guys on stream how to do that because that's kind of exclusive to the game plans. You know, we have a lot of different ways to stop that exact setup in the game plans. That's kind of unique and honestly, I don't really know another way to do it besides in the game plan. But I don't really want to show that. You know, if you're a sub, then you know in that match game plan for 245 odd, or I mean 245 normal, you'll find there's a couple links in there to stop that deep crosser. A simplest way to do it, like per se, if it was like, what? Imagine like this A is a crosser, right? From that Y spot, which I'm assuming we were talking about, like the shot wheel or maybe even counter go. What you can do is you can man up if you don't want to run match, if say you don't want to, you could have that 30-yard drop there, and you can also baseline press. So baseline press is going to have that outside third to get out more to the sidelines and actually kind of play there. However, obviously you can see where this safety is right here. There's a whole open of the field there. So what you can do is you can man up X actually on the B. So if you're in 3-5 you can man this guy up. So I'm running a lot of safeties at linebacker. Obviously you're here, you know, this is Adrian Amos, so I got him manned up there, and then you can put Y on like a I love putting him on a bluff blitz. I think the 3-rec is such an underrated zone this year. They play a lot of stuff. I love having that, or you can put him like just in a backside hook, so you can kind of just follow what you want to follow. But yeah, it kind of just takes away that left side. You know, you can follow him over there, see if your outside third plays it. You know, if not, then you got to play it. But that's kind of the best way to do it. As for zone drops, that kind of perspective. Cross man and baseline press your outside third. Now, obviously, baseline and pressing, you know, you're opening up a lot more things. So it's kind of like more of a guessing game. You know, that's how Madden is, right? You know, you're making an adjustment to stop a certain play, but that's going to hold. That's going to make a hole for something else to get open. In regards to that specific thing, without showing the match events that's outlined in the game plan, this would be my recommendation how to stop that. How do you stop a scrambling quarterback when the contained just QB spy not working? Well, that's tricky because that's really how you're supposed to stop him. You know, you can spread like this. You know, against a bunch tight end specifically. You know, this is kind of universal defense. I don't know. This 3-rec isn't on the field. Everyone's blitzing. I don't know why it's showing there in the play art. So as you can see, there's my showing play art. You can shift your D line towards that. I'm apologies. You're supposed to shift your D line away, contain, drag this guy outside of the contain because this guy is actually going to get blocked by 77. And if they just roll out instantly, then you have Adrian Amos right there. He's going to come in unblocked. That's kind of specifically for a bunch tight end. So you do want to call it for like something like this. You know, the same principle applies. Contain, drag this guy out so he's not on that contain angle. So if I were to, it's called verticals, right? Yeah, I called verticals. Yeah, I can't call verticals. Okay, well, if I were to roll out here, you see how, boom. That guy's going to basically just disengage on that contain because he's really on that outside angle. But really the objective, what I'm trying to show you here is watch this outside guy. See how the contain takes away 77 here? Amos comes in free. So you do that. That's just like a general like blitzing tactic. You know, at a dollar, like the baseline press and dollar, that kind of a look that people like to do. So that's that guy coming in free. That's really how I would stop scrambling quarterbacks right there. Have that contain and drag somebody out or have like a slot corner blitzing. That's kind of my go-to for that. What other questions do you guys have? Now, I've been seeing a lot of questions in Discord throughout the week about the RPO glitches. So I played specifically against someone at 5 wide. What I figured out to do is put these safeties right here into a 0-yard drop. Like the purples, put your purples on the zeros, and then man everybody else up. So you can call a man, right? If you want to. He's doing it on a 5 wide, so man wasn't that big. And I would just baseline press, so it'd be kind of even. And what I would do was, so it'd be an even front. Might as well just show. See my audible to 5 wide. Work. So if I were to call man here, is they kind of weird. Like line up outside. You don't really want that. You want 5 people on the D line. If you baseline press, it brings them over there. Okay, can you man on it at least? This formation is just okay. Do this then. You. Can I man line, please? Okay, whatever. It doesn't want to do it. Okay. So, anyways, have these guys in 0-yard purples. So now you have everyone manned up. So you're not gonna get beat like by like some dumb route per se. Ideally, what's supposed to happen is this corner on the left is supposed to be on the right. Run 0 blitz. Maybe that's what it was, what I was doing, but it was working really well. So I'd baseline press and have these 0-yard drops there because obviously everyone else dumbs out, but these guys, for some reason, with the 0-yard flats, wouldn't dumb out. So when they actually like ran the ball wide, I could just click onto them and make the tackle. Or what I would do is just take my user and just run around and just make a tackle. I thought that was a terrible offense. You know, I played someone doing it and I couldn't figure out for the first drive. So I literally just quit out. Like, I'm not doing this. And I match up with him instantly again. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm not going to give this guy the satisfaction of it. And then I gave him the quit message right when I tried that. That's a really good way to do it. And as for the other stuff, you know, you can do this, you know, DB fire 2. I don't even know what formation it is out of. Is it this thing? Yeah, it's this little run. No, is it? No, it's not. But if you baseline press, so basically what happens there, this 76, I know he's not pulling here, but you don't want to blitz yourself. 76 is supposed to pull, and you basically just fly right through the gap. So like, I snap the ball here. There it is. Okay, it actually did work, but obviously they don't hand the ball off. They keep it with their quarterback. All you do is right when they snap the ball, boom. See how I tackle them right there? They can't run around that. That's my go-to for it. You know, that's how you stop pretty much all the RPO people. There you go. That should bag pretty much all the RPOs. This is, how long is this into it? What time is it? So 15 minutes in, you know, I feel like that's a really good way to bag all that. Now we know kind of how to go on that regard. On my lab, and I was just kind of showing you guys how to stop the RPO glitches and just some general run defense. This is a $326. General $326, and then DB fire 2, baseline press. See how this guy comes out a little wider. And they stop the ball, you just fly right through in there, and you just tackle the quarterback. Obviously, I just missed him, but you can tackle him basically right as he hands it off. So right there, boom, you just fly right through the gap. You know, I just missed it, but I know the general play 76 is pulling. You see right there, it's so I don't know why my guy's just dumbing out when I'm trying to tackle him, but it's the same principle. It works flawlessly against both. Dava, how you doing, man? How's your night going? What other questions do you guys have? You know, as run defense, the RPOs. What other general things would you guys like me to cover? Hey, what I do versus trips? Honestly, I like dollar. I like dollar a lot. So, see if I can audible to a trip set. Probably can't. Yeah, I can't. Alright, so let's go to. It's kind of trip, so yeah. So you can do a dollar. Personally, I still think 55 wide's the best. I pitch my defense. If I'm sending 5, you can run kind of cover 3 look. You know, if they and And I'll kind of hover right here, and then right when they snap the ball, kind of run down, and hopefully someone just kind of come in free. But yeah, that's like my kind of just base defense for it. Obviously, if you want to make some adjustments, you can do a double Mabel like this. If there is someone who doesn't really attack, the dollar is not weak in the run because there's still a glitch in it. You don't get weak boxed. If you come out and like spinner or something like that, whatever spinners in dollar, and then you audible to like cover 3 or whatever defense you run, you don't get weak boxed. I don't know why it's a thing, but it is. So if someone's, for example, not attacking the trip side deep, like if they're not calling any corner routes on the left, obviously there's no point in double enabling that side. So what you can do is put Y on like just a 5-yard flat, and you can put this guy on a bluff blitz 3-rec. That 3-rec plays a lot of like the ends and things like that. I love going to this kind of a defense. This is my kind of go-to send 3 defense against trips. If you want to send 5 and you want this kind of a thing, put A on that 5-yard and then put B on like a 25-yard flat, and you're sending 5, right? So you have double Mabel on the right with a 5-yard flat on the left by setting 5. That's kind of something you can do. Obviously, it's risky as you don't have anything on the deep left. But yeah. Now talk about zone drops. I mean, what would you really you mean by kind of talking about like zone drops, like how they work? I mean, they just go to where whatever zone drop you have it set for, like curls, clouds, soft squats, and hard flats are the light blue zone. On the right here is the cloud flat, and then the purples are the curl flat, and the seam flats. Generally, I put those on the linebacker and let them stay kind of low. But yeah. Can you show how to do a cover 4 shell out of any cover 2 fire? What adjustments do we make? I'm going to do doing something wrong because my safety goes to the opposite direction. Out of cover 2. Yeah, sure. I mean, kind of weird. I mean, if I auto to cover 2 here, right? It's my defense. Basically, just put X on the outside quarter. You can put this guy in inside quarter. Then I guess you can't really put it that guy on the right and outside quarter outside baseline press, and still can't. Oh yeah, I can. There goes something like that. And is that what you mean? Yeah, I don't quite know. Call cover 2. You guys shouldn't change. You gotta make sure you're selecting the right button. Like if I put X, and I press left on the right stick, and it goes in the outside corner. If I want to put my deep left safety LB into an inside quarter, press right on the right stick, and there's a cover 4 look. Is that kind of what you mean? Like that's kind of that's how you do it. I can do the same thing on all these guys right here. See, like that. When facing trips, it sometimes shifts my defensive alignment. How do I stop that? For example, put out the alignment core foot. A little. I don't quite know what you mean. I haven't seen that happen to me personally. I had my buttons switch a lot. I haven't had like I can't make an adjustment right now. I gotta snap the ball. As for like your guys coming in like different assignments, what happens to me personally the most of the times, it's just kind of just any set in general. I see my buttons flip. I see Y and X instead of like A and Y or something like that. My buttons kind of flipped now. Sometimes when you're pressing it too quickly, especially it happens to me a lot when I change my safety adjustment, they'll randomly blitz because sometimes your adjustments are going too fast, or it doesn't register it the way you have it. So if you're asking me why your guys kind of go to random zones, it should be rare that it happens, and more than likely the time it's just because you're making adjustments really fast. Generally, that's how I used to time was to me. But as for like just trips, like really like just changing up your adjustments, it shouldn't do that. I come in the zone, but when there's an empty side, my defense man aligns in the zone, shifting the coverage. Oh, well, So against like, that's why I call it Mike Blitz 3 because Mike Blitz doesn't do that. So if you call it like cover 2, right? I don't know if it would do it here. If I call it just cover 2, reset the play. See how that guy is over there now? Is that what you mean? I assume baseline. Okay, why? Oh, it's nickel 335, I guess. But I go to this, and now this guy just not. Now he's just locked and can't move. Nice. I mean, I've never seen my defense ever do that, but yeah, I go Tampa 2 there, and that should. That's how it's supposed to look. If you man align, it brings someone over there like this. If you just man on again, it does that. Generally, if your guys are out of set, like let's say this dude's lined up here, just baseline, it'll bring him back down. Obviously, he's not doing that because I already manually moved him. But like when you come out against a set, and it's really big tell for cover 4 and cover 2 because your middle linebacker, if you don't manually move him and you audible from that into it, they kind of step up to the outside. That's why you always want to move your user if you audible to something like that. But to do it automatically, make sure you just have your alignment coach adjustment set to base, not base, just default. Or I mean, if you do it on base, it would prevent that too. But anytime I see my defense in like a weird alignment, I always baseline to fix it. Panthers 3-4 under with 4-3 personnel. Maybe a glitch. What about Panthers 3-4 under 4-3? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Question from box. I'm a little bit above. So what about a streak from the slot receiver? I believe that's probably when we were going over kind of trips. So, I assume you're probably kind of referring to when they're playing like they call it verticals, right? You're gonna cover 3 look. Obviously, you can snap throw Devontae Adams here if they're on a streak. To stop that, you can obviously man up Y onto them. What I always do is I man up. See, there's Y there, and now there's Y here. It's nice. I man up my outside linebacker onto him like this because the people that make that read, if they're trying to, majority of the times people that are just snap throwing that aren't actually gonna look at if this guy is like dropping back. They're gonna be looking at this dude going outside, right? They see he's not manned up, boom, instantly snap throw that. Whereas they don't really see this guy come down and then instantly up there, get a nice little click on and make the pick. That's my go-to. I do that for 5 wide and a bunch of other formations. That anytime they try to throw a streak against cover 3 shell, I like to mix in my outside linebackers manned up on them. What other questions do you guys have? The Discord's been kind of slow. YouTube, you all have been coming with a lot of great questions. Discord's been kind of slow tonight. Twitch and YouTube have been having a lot of questions. I like it. What things would you guys like me to address, or if I didn't address something to your understanding, want me to re-explain something, kind of go back over something, just let me know. Whatever you guys want, I'm here to help. Especially if you're thinking, if you have no question is a dumb question, because if you're thinking it, guarantee there's at least one other person thinking it. And I cannot stress that enough. The amount of times I get DMs, people asking questions, there is the exact same question in other DMs. Even though they're really simple answers. That's why I always answer it in the chat, because hopefully a lot of people see it. No questions and dumb questions. So anything you guys have, just let me know. Yeah, as for run defense, if anyone's just tuning in, I go to run defense for pretty much anything. I'm gonna go. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do there. My controller's switched up. Offensive line blocking assignments. That's kind of a tricky question. I'll try to explain to the best of my ability. So, I don't want to Mike Blitz here, right? Obviously, it's supposed to be, head on, right? They're supposed to block the people right in front of them. But obviously, you can change that yourself. So, for example, if I slide protect to the right, hopefully 69 would actually block 55. But he probably wouldn't. But for let's say 36 has edge threat, right? and he's really killing you, and you don't want an outside, if you don't want a lineman to block him, you want him chop blocked, right? You can slide your offensive line to the right. So say slide right, but I'm going to ID this outside corner. Basically, what's going to happen now is, hopefully, hang on, where's the offense? Hopefully, what will happen here is they'll double team, or you can manually do it just to ensure it. You can double team this guy. So 69 and 76. So Bakhtiari, whoever this left guard is going to double team that guy with the star. And what's going to happen is this Aaron Jones, now by IDing this outside corner on this far left right here, now what's going to happen, he's going to chop block this left side guy. So if you're ever having someone with a really like good pressure, you can do this to kind of counteract that. So if I snap the ball here, so they double team him, boom. See how he chop blocks him? I mean, that's just a lucky shed. Like, there's not much I can do for that. I mean, that's just Madden, but, you know, see how they watch, boom. Double team, Aaron Jones doesn't even hesitate. So I did that outside corner, right? He's not looking anywhere on the right. He immediately turns right to this guy. Instead of blocking him straight up, he goes, boom, chop blocks him, takes him out of the play. You know, 70 just gets beat there. I mean, he just got shedded, so. Yeah, that's kind of how blocking assignments work. You know, sliding one way to allow something else to get open, to allow, you know, you'd be able to do that. You know, just IDing makes your line block a certain way towards that side, generally for the running back or something like that. But, you know, one general thing, like, you know, if you're having a slot corner blitz, like, let's say, even though it's, you're never going to see like someone blitzing just like this from this kind of a shell, but in general, if this guy was blitzing right and you want him blocked, I shouldn't say that side, I should say the left side to actually show some sort of realism. So let's say, you know, a slot corner blitz on the left, right? And you're setting out your tight end, so, you know, basically what here is you're more than likely your running back just going to sit in the middle and completely ignore the guy on the left. Now by IDing that outside corner, watch, Aaron Jones now is going to be responsible for it. See how he immediately just kind of, well, I mean, I can tell you what's going to happen. Hopefully it actually happens, but Aaron Jones, can we please actually do what you're supposed to do here? It'd be very much appreciative. Maybe let's bring him in a little bit. Oh. Okay, what's the offensive play call? There you go. If I snap the ball, why is that guy coming in free? Oh, I guess the user's also blitzing. Really? Game sometimes. It really frustrates me. All right. Drop in the coverage, please. Okay. So, general pitch defense, right? Baseline press. Can you please block Aaron Jones? You snap the ball. There it is. Thank you. Yeah. Apologies for making that way longer than it needed to be. I'm not exactly sure why, but practice mode's very fluky. See, I see right there. You see how he instantly turns to the left and blocks him? I just did that same exact setup 3 times. I don't know why this one finally worked, but this is what happens to me all the time in game. Boom, instantly goes out and blocks him. So that's kind of the best way I can describe the whole blocking principles. Gun, empty Texan defense. Not really. Do this. I mean, it's kind of the same thing. This is my good defense right here. If I'm setting 5, or I can do something like this. You can shift to the one side, take your user, take away the center. Basically, what's going to happen here is your user is you know nothing's going to happen on the left, right? Actually, let me think. No, you want to send this to the side of the wide receiver, non-trip side. That's what I should say. So take X, man him up on RB, right? So you see how that? Yeah, I just explained that inversely. Ignore what I just said. Shift your D line opposite of the trip side of wide receivers, because now this inside third right here is going to take away that seam streak on the left, right? So take your user, hover in the center. That way, 69 blocks the guy with the star. Left guard blocks the dude with the star, allowing your outside linebacker to come in free on the left, right? This only happens if you engage with the center. Now, obviously, the right side of the field is wide open, right? So you want to take this right side guy, like your right side linebacker who's not blitzing anymore, man him up on the 17 so he can't throw that seam streak. Now, if they want to throw 89, then that's your user responsibility. Like, watch. Engage with them just for a split second. Go right there. I mean, no blitz is going to work in practice mode, I swear. But yeah, that's really what you want to do. Engage with the center. Audible to verticals again. I just crash out. Maybe it'll help. And then take X, man up on RB. Take away the center. And it just doesn't work for some reason. Now the guy's blocked. I don't know why he's doing that, but that's my go-to defense. It works flawlessly online. Or if you don't want to just do your shifting, you can just pinch your defense and just man up. Go to it. There's so many formations in this. You can pinch your defense, and then if you want to send 3, man up Y on the Y, X on the RB, like this, take away the seams, then generally everything else will be bagged. What's the meta right now? A lot of 3-5 wide, a lot of RPOs, obviously, bunch and trips are the 2 best offenses in the game, in my opinion. The meta buster breaks down pretty much how to do all that. Defending inside zone, inside the 5-yard line. What is... I get so confused with controllers, which... Generally, it's the same principle for all runs, so... It doesn't matter what formation they're in, right? Then 5, like this. Don't blitz your user, just pinch your entire defense. And then snap the ball, fly down, and just make the tackle. Or try to contain. You can, if you want to do a sellout defense, you can do cover 2 man, like this, by both safeties. Like so. And that's a pass, but that's kind of the sellout run defense. What's up? I run nickel triple. Is there a way to defend the run against heavy run formation like I form? I don't think nickel triple is really good at all. I have never played against it, nor have I ran it. I remember looking at it at one point, and it was just getting gashed in the run. I would highly advise running something you can audible to 2-4-5 odd or wide or something like that if you're playing a heavy runner. A nickel triple, I'm really not entirely sure. For safety, inside third would normally be used to cover 3 looks, and inside quarter be used for cover 4. Correct. And deep half cover 2, correct. I can show you that right here. Just control deep. So watch. Cover 3, thirds, cover 4, quarters, cover 2, halves. Can you run a play this time? My safety did the same thing. Goes to the opposite side of the field and wonder if there's only practice glitch. Run what again? You run a match at 3-5 against trips? Yes, sure. Just don't have zone drops on. Generally, cover 4 is what I do for this. My match defense is cover 4, no zone drops. I put Y into a hard flat, so he actually plays flat. And I don't got to worry about the left side of the field, basically. And then my users are the rest of the field. Yeah, that's my go. This is my match defense for 55 wide. Here. What other little questions you guys have? What do you guys like me to break down? So you're coming on cover 2, and I manually put my coverage to cover 4. When I run the play, my safety goes. Okay, so why per se are you doing that? So if I'm in cover 2, right? I'm trying to figure out why would you manually make a cover 4 because you have to change pretty much everyone. Whereas, right? So whereas if I run a cover, if I can just go to cover 4, right? The only difference per se is putting Y into a vert hook, right? It's not as you don't have a vert hook on the right, but now you have the same, in principle, the same exact thing. So why would you start in cover 2 and manually do that? Whereas you can go to start in cover 4 and just drop a guy into a vert hook, and now basically you have the same exact thing for a cover 4 look. As you start in cover 2, see, it's still the same exact thing. It's just like if you were to do that, you know, you're the same thing. Not to put this guy in like an inside third or quarter. Now it's the same thing, right? I go to cover 4, boom, or boom, same thing. Stock zone drops in 335. That is for match. So if you leave it on default, um, then that'll be match. Good offense using Lamar. I'm assuming you're talking about Mutt. I mean, probably ANCAP's empty game plan just because, like, you have so many options to throw to, and you can take off running pretty easily. There's a lot of QB draws and things like that you can do. Especially when you do like the RPO glitch. I would recommend doing it because it will get patched and there's no point doing it. It's not going to make you a better player, but you do have that option at your disposal if you choose. How often do I do these streams? Let me go show you. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do last week. I was out on vacation. So if I go here, watch party, office hours. ANCAP does his every Thursday, 3 p.m. Bugs every Saturday, 11 a.m. Me every Tuesday starting 8 p.m. Generally, I like to do my office hours in a structure that, you know, for the first hour, I try to answer as many questions as I can. Usually, it's every single question. I don't usually miss any questions. Sometimes I'll miss one or two here and there. And then the second half, like another hour, I'll do, you know, depending on the engagement and the viewership, how the Discord's going, I'd play like I'd go into like my head to head, right, and play like 1 or 2 games depending on how long they last. I'd do like inside the mind. Tonight probably won't do that. The viewership turnout isn't as big, so I probably won't do that. Especially the Discord's pretty slow, so but you never know. One of my opinions on cluster. I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's off meta. You know, there's definitely some route concepts. You know, if you give me a playbook that you run, I can kind of go and kind of show you some unique plays in there that you can kind of formulate things out of. Yeah, I did go over the RPO glitch. So 15 minutes into the stream. So I believe even when I'm live, you can go back and watch it from the start. 15 minutes into the stream, I break down how to stop both RPO glitches. The one where it's like got a shotgun with like that pulling guard, right? Like whatever the gun weird things with 2 tight ends and 2 receivers. Go over that. Basically instantly sack the quarterback. And then for the 5 wide, I can just show you that here. Put safeties in a 0-yard flat. Chad was saying audible to Mike Blitz 0, which makes a lot more sense. Audible to Mike Blitz 0, I don't have that here. And then put safeties in a 5-yard flat like this. And when they run out, contain with the user. I personally found it was actually pretty easy to tackle my user once they was worried about the 5-yard flats. And then, yeah. Running a lot of man coverage because I found that they would try to pass, they would try to run out, right? And then once that your user like comes down, like if I'm like right here, right, trying to tackle him, he would run backwards and then throw the screen if I was in zone. Even though it's like because the guys were just dumb out. So I was running a lot of man and actually getting a pick from that. So with the 0-yard flats. I can't block the dollar defense or the 146. Okay, that's a good question. So generally, that's a baseline press type look, right? Like this. Let's simulate how this left slot guy is going. So if he's blitzing on the left, and I'd say I just call high verticals, right? He's gonna sack me 100% of the time. There's just no way to block him, right? Unless you make some blocking adjustments. Even if you block the running back, if you kind of hover in the gap, sometimes the right side guy will come in and still get sacked probably 70% of the time. Now, I already did cover this kind of in the blocking assignments, but counteract this like this. ID the mic. You can ID this guy all you want. 50% of the time, it's not going to do anything. Too close to the line. ID this outside corner. I know it doesn't quite make sense just from first look, but by IDing this outside corner, think about it, right? You're telling your offensive lineman and your running back where to block. So if you ID this farthest guy on the outside of the field, then the entire line, like the left tackle and the running back, are going to turn their eyes towards that guy, right? And this blitzing guy is then going to get picked up. So watch. This is the defense. Very similar to Dollar a little bit. Well, not Dollar, but like the principle. It's the same principle. If anything, this is the one that would come in instead of Dollar. I snap the ball. Boom. You see how Aaron Jones instantly just looks to the right? Now, this is a send 6, and I can still block it, right? And it's the same alignment for that slot blitzing corner. So, watch out Aaron Jones. See how they instantly just turns his body right there. Boom. Right from the snap. Boom. Turns left. Ready for that blitzing corner. Ready to block. Right? Now, let's say it's both corners, right? So, let's just go to like blitz 3. And let's say it's Y coming in, and just for the purpose of this demonstration, imagine this is like Dollar, right? I just audible Dollar. I don't know why I'm doing this. Just audible Dollar. I have Dollar in this playbook. I can actually show it properly. So if I go to Dollar 326, right? DB fire 2. Okay, let's just call this. All right. So I'm gonna block my running back. Obviously, the setup is baseline press and contain. So here's defense. So obviously, what I'm doing on offense to counteract this, I'm IDing this guy. So now we don't have to worry about the slot corner on the left. However, you now have to worry about this guy on the right. Slide your offensive line to the right, and it should block both of those guys coming in. If I go ahead and snap the ball, boom, there you go. See how the tight end goes out there? Everyone's blocked like that. Replay, I'll show you it again. Even though this guy's in a contain, 89 instantly goes out there because he knows to slide to the right to pick up that guy. And with that ID on the outside corner, boom, you saw Aaron Jones instantly just doesn't even do anything. He just shifts his hips right there. Already ready. Boom. Ready to block. Doesn't even go in front of Rodgers. He's ready. He's just waiting for him. Obviously, this guy gets shedded on the outside in the contain. So 69 goes and blocks him up. Then Aaron Jones picks that guy up. But yeah. Best defense right now. Personally, I think the match defense is really good. I struggle a lot first match. I mean, in terms of like a head-to-head, I think match would be really good. And obviously, if you play someone who labs for a match, they're going to have a lot of different match beaters and ways to beat it. That'd be really frustrating to play. But as for just my dad, I think match is pretty good. I don't think 3-3-5 wide in terms of just a general kind of stock defense, like unless you're making a lot of adjustments out of it, is the best right now because people have been playing that for years. If you're playing someone in my head-to-head and you're just running Mike Blitz 3, no adjustments, they've been playing that for 2 years now, so they're going to kind of know how to beat that. So I love 2-4-5 odd. That's kind of one of my favorite defenses still. I still think it's very good. 3-3-5 normal. Ascend 3 with that kind of look. People haven't played 3-3-5 normal since like what, Madden 19, early Madden 20. Yeah, nickel 2-4-5, just 2-4-5 regular match defense that 5-cam breaks down. 3-3-5 normal's cool. 4-5 odds good. Double A gap. If you're playing against double A gap, it's a whole guessing game. I have a game plan on that in the Lions. If you're playing against double A gap, it's a whole guessing game what people are going to be running and the adjustments. So. That's just kind of my opinion on it personally. Yeah. What other questions do you guys have? Fourth, even 6-1. How to against cover 4 drop. Okay, so this is a good one. All right. Well, this is my trip speeder. Imagine X is on a deep post, and I can't obviously put him on a post, but imagine he's on. So put Devontae Adams out here. Oh, it's this. Got his outside apprentice. A ball. Chips on the white side. All right. I gotta call new play. Get or the same pro example. What do you mean for what pro example are you talking about? I'm talking about Clef's run defense. But keep in mind, this is cover 4 match. It's always gonna be match, and called practice modes. There's no zone drops, but obviously this is now basically trips tight end, and Devontae Adams is now on the outside. Did I not just put him on the outside? Literally on the outside. Okay, well, I guess this formation is kind of stupid. Yeah, well, this formation is really stupid. Nice. Cover 4. It's kind of the cover tell I was talking about earlier, how the guy winds up out wide. So I'm just spy everyone just so I don't get pass rushed. Take your outside guy, put him on a post like this. Your tight. I personally just in case they play it, I put an A on a post. Obviously, I can't really do that here. I don't have tight end apprentice, but ideally A is on a post and Y is on a streak like this. And basically, what's gonna happen is watch B get it wide open over top. It's match, so it's a little different, but not really. Any streak in deep post like that obliterates cover 4. I love playing against cover 4. It's like my go-to thing. I call inside cross 100% of the time. But this got a streak, it instantly snap it. Even against match. See how boom, this guy, that slant holds these two guys just a little bit, just enough for this guy to sneak right behind them. Streak holds them, and boom. We're wide open. Touchdown. Yeah, no problem. Anything for 43, even 6-1, definitely check out the Meta Buster. I've never ran it, so I can't really tell you exactly how to run it properly. As for playing against it, send out 5 100% of the time. There's 6 people blitzing, plus that guy hovering in a gap almost. There's going to be 2 people open every single play. Gotta have good route spacing. Don't let receivers be near each other. Utilize a lot of motions. Obviously, if you have receivers right next to each other, regardless of what route they're running, then you can make the wrong read. Takes away that quick little read or something like that. Whereas if you have a lot of spacing, a couple of hitches, posts, things like that, go a long way. Have they 4 or 5 guys drop? What do you mean? That's for cover 4, and that's the same thing. That cover 4 is open every single time. If you want to call something else, call hitch post slant. One of my favorite plays like this. That trips tight end like this. That's one of my go-tos. Obviously, A is on a post, but because Y, if they're calling cover 4, that Y route sits in between the flat. If the flat plays B, the user plays X, then you just throw Y. So he does throw Y, you can throw X. If he sits right in there, then you wait for A to get on the sideline and throw the tight end. Yes. By having zone drops on, it cancels all match coverage. So I got about 4 more minutes. Any final questions? Anything you guys kind of want me to go over? Stop tight offset. I love running cover two with a heavy blitz. So for example, let's see if I can audible to. There we go. I mean, obviously it's not the same thing, but the principle I'm going to show you applies. Tampa 2, send 5, hover in a gap, and send 6. Like this if you want to. If you send 6, hover on this side of the gap, hover away from there, so the center will kind of block you, allowing that guy to come in free on the edge. Like this, and then just have like a 5 or 10 yard drops. Like that. I love this. My go-to defense for tight. You know, have the ball, boom. I just had 2 guys come in screaming. See what I mean? What's up, Pizza King? But yeah, see how I hover in this left side gap? See how the center and they all have to kind of shift towards me. I had those 2 guys blitzing on the right. They both come in free. Obviously, usually only one's going to come in free, but boom. Get a nice little sack in there. That's my go-to versus tight pretty much every time. Obviously, you can mix in whatnot. Nables, like double nables. Match. I'm not a big fan of match versus compressed sets like that. But yeah. On ace offset and pats. So kind of go to it really quickly. I don't know if there's a meta buster. Why can I not? Patriots. Okay. Better pocket presence. Don't drop back too far, otherwise you get shedded off the edge. First thing to do. 20 gun ace offset. So we're talking about posts. Don't drop back too far. Step up into the pocket and around. I'll try to get to that in just a second. I'm not gonna have enough time to show you exactly what's proper subs, but about the ball real quick. I remember exactly how I showed it one office hours. Let me just see if it's in the meta buster real quick. Oh, it actually is. Okay, well, how to stop posts is in the meta buster. You know, I think my way is probably unique, so I'm gonna show you my way as well. I don't think it's the exact one in the meta buster. I hope not. But yeah, so what I do is basically, I believe I put this guy on a hard flat, so he plays that. And I think I man up A on the X, if I recall correctly. I think. So they snap the ball here. Yeah. Oh, that's not exactly what I did. Let me see if there's press, and drop A into a hard flat like this. Oh, that's what I do. Okay, I know. The ball. Naglor. Nice. I think I man up A on X. I think that's what I do. Then shade down. I think I shade down and man up A on X. This. That. No, because then that doesn't. No. What did I do? I had a great bag for this. I showed it in my very first office hours. Obviously, the Meta Buster has a way to stop this exactly, but I'm trying to think what I did. Um, not the shade. I guess you can just man up this guy on X, like that, and does a pretty decent job. So obviously, you have that backside thing. Yeah, it pretty much covers it right there. Out of cover 4 match. But I definitely recommend checking out the. There it is. See post right here. write down exactly how to do it. I believe it's either Master, Noah, or Trey that breaks it down, I believe, or ANCAP. So obviously you have a really good thing. Oh, the RPO glitch. Here's a video on the RPO glitch, guys. Good. Yeah. I am out of time now. How do you slow down the run in 4-6 even? Call it. I'm just kidding. I honestly have no idea. I don't run 4-6 even. I don't run anything out of 4-6. I run 3-5 wide 100% of the time. And obviously, I'd say replicate a 3-5 wide type of look. You know, have the most amount of guys on the outside that you can to have balanced run fit set. Yeah. You open down the streaks. Any seam streak, man it up. That's the easiest way to describe it. You know, especially if you're running cover 3, that's how you beat cover 3. Well, one of the many ways. By simple manning up, especially for the motion. Good job. You know, say if they were in motion like this guy from the right side over, you know, you can drag this guy out inside quarter, and the streak's just running into the inside quarter. Yeah, that's gonna do it for the office hours today. I'm not sure if the video is gonna be archived or not. I believe it was messing up something with the analyticals, so I'm not sure if it's gonna be archived or not. I'm every day. I'm checking the HuddleGG Discord throughout the entire day. Always kind of going over, you know, answering any of your questions, regardless of what you guys have. So that's gonna do it for me tonight. You guys will have a good one. Hope I helped out a lot. Hope I didn't miss any questions. If I did, I apologize. I'll see you guys next Tuesday. I believe ANCAP's doing Thursday, and then Bogues will be Saturday morning. Office hours are posted on the website, as always.